All right, Kevin, thanks very much. It is Champ Week, presented by Principal, and we are here in Las Vegas, where tonight we will crown a champion in the West Coast Conference title game. Will it once again be the dynasty of Gonzaga? Well, it is the Kennel South. Their fans have invaded Las Vegas, as you would expect. How did we arrive at the championship game? Well, normally Gonzaga is a dominant team, and Rui Hachimura, he was dominant up front in an 88-60 win over San Francisco. Killian Tilly hasn't missed a three yet in this tournament. He is 10 for 10. Just as solid, though, in a much closer game and a mild upset. BYU over St. Mary's, 85-72. Yoli Childs, Elijah Bryant both did a tremendous job for Coach Rose. Childs records a career-high 33, and that brings us to the title game tonight. BYU, the 3 seed, against the perennial championship game participant, Gonzaga. Bob Wischusen here with Dick Vitale. Gene Wojciechowski with us as well. Don't mess with Happy. Mark Few hasn't. He's still in Spokane, and all he does is win.
Well, he just wins, Mr. Consistency. But let me tell you this, to win tonight, their front court's going to have to be dominant. When you think about Tilly and Hachimura coming off the bench. And on the other end, if BYU is going to leave here with the title and stop the five-game title that they have in winning this conference, when you look at Gonzaga, they're going to need a great performance out of their dynamic duo. When you think about Childs and Bryant, they're going to have to be super.
Gonzaga has won or shared the West Coast Conference regular season title 6 years in a row and 17 of the last 18 years.
I think we're going to have a heck of a game. I was impressed with BYU last night. They're a quality basketball team, and they beat a heck of a team in beating St. Mary's. Good ball movement.
Hartnett leans in, and Jashir Hartnett scores the game's first points.
Nice little penetration to get down in the lane. Guard play can be big in this game. Nelson and Perkins bring a lot of experience to the Zags.
At three, well short from Josh Perkins.
Both teams were sensational last night. Shot the ball exceptionally well. That hides a lot of liabilities. 61% BYU shot for that game against St. Mary's.
Luke Worthington, jump hook with the left hand, and the back tap ends up with Silas Melson.
But again, Tilly's face, he's been on fire, as you said, Bob. 10 consecutive threes he's made. 11 if you go to the game prior to the last game.
TJ Halls gets the steal, dribbles it back out, and the triple rims off for Elijah Bryant.
They've really done a great job of containing Elijah Bryant in the first two meetings between his clubs. 6 for 28. They've done it with different people guarding him, rotating people.
Offensive rebound, Jonathan Williams. Can't stick it back up and in.
That was a big-time rebound. Showed why he's a tremendous rebounder. He's a Windex man.
Number 10 in America among all active players in total rebounds. They make a run in the NCAA tournament. He'll be a 1,000-rebound player by the time his career wraps up at Gonzaga. Here comes Perkins. Floats one. Tilly can't finish it.
Too easy. It was too easy for Tilly.
He needed to try 22-footer.
On his birthday, man, he was sensational yesterday. 26 points.
Childs in rhythm. Yes.
He had 33 yesterday. I'll tell you one thing Mark Few told me before the game. If Childs makes threes, it could be a long night because that's not his expertise. It's more on the interior. That's big news there for BYU and Dave Rose. Making them try to execute on that 5-on-5 half-court game.
Getting to the baseline. Nice shot fake. Finishing with the left hand. Jonathan Williams.
That's a big time.
Shoot the bonus.
Big-time baseline drive. Showed his physicality, his strength. We've documented, talked about how he transferred from out of Missouri. Nice ball fake. Good strength. Goes to his strong hand, which is the left hand.
Well, Dave Rose, 8 NCAA tournament appearances with BYU, a program record in his 13th year as the head coach, but better part of 2 decades that he's been in Provo as a part of this program.
You know, better than that, what an inspiration he is to so many. He's been a battler of cancer, pancreatic cancer, goes for a scan every 6 months. Really impressive to see him on that sideline.
Pause with the floater. Norvell the rebound.
Norvell's got a chance to be a star. Came out of Simeon High School in Chicago.
Tilly for 3. Got it!
Are you serious? That's 12 in a row. What's the record? Joe Sullivan said the record's 15 on stat
15 consecutive made threes. This dates back to their final regular season game where he made his last 3. And Tilly is now 11 for 11 shooting threes in the WCC championship.
You can take many guys in the game today, including NBA stars, put them on the line with nobody guarding them, and they're not going 11 for 11. That's unbelievable. 11 for 11 in game competition. Well, his stock is going up, Robert, just like yours. It's going up and up.
Yeah, I never miss. Norvell. Another 3 goes down for the Zags. Just like that, they've got the lead.
The percentage is not really great for them shooting threes. They're shooting over 50% as a team, which is fantastic. But I'm telling you, they're very capable of shooting threes.
And the answer from Yoli Childs.
Childs, 2 for 2 shooting threes. That's really not going to make a guy happy by the name of Coach Few. He talked about that before the game.
Norvell got a little cute, tried to sneak a pass through, and Luke Worthington read it.
I tell you, we got some intensity on his floor.
Childs runs the floor. He got another bucket.
He had 33 last night. You can see why. Making threes, showing versatility, transition, running the court. There's a lot of emotion on this floor right now, a lot of passion.
Williams leans in. Childs the rebound. Numbers for BYU as Williams late getting up the floor. Childs allows the flyby. Thought about another 3 and then gave it up.
Tell you what a family.
Nice little pocket pass to Childs, but he missed from inside.
Should have dunked that one. Austin's brother was a big-time player about 3 years ago.
Norvell doesn't waste any time.
We got some quality basketball here tonight. Oh, we got some quality basketball in Vegas. Wow, they are shooting the trifecta. One team 2 for 3, another 3 for 5. Good ball movement.
Traveling calls on Elijah Bryant, so we'll step aside. 5 combined threes between BYU and Gonzaga early. A great atmosphere here in Las Vegas. And why? Well, this is a budding rivalry building. Gene Wojciechowski will have more on that when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, Investments, Retirement, Insurance, and the Kia Stinger. Visit kia.com/Stinger to learn more.
Off to a great start in the West Coast Conference Championship game. Bob Wischusen, Dick Vitale, Gene Wojciechowski here in Las Vegas. Surprised at all that BYU is in this game?
Well, not really. Think about this. Prior to this year, they beat Gonzaga 3 consecutive years. Beat them in the Kennel. A lot of people don't realize that, and it's not easy to win at the Kennel.
No doubt about it. Gene, when you think about the West Coast Conference, everyone thinks Gonzaga St. Mary's. Maybe not for long, though.
Yeah, you know, St. Mary's Gonzaga gets all the publicity. But Mark Few told me earlier today that Gonzaga-BYU is really the rivalry that has become special and hyper-intense for them. Remember last season when Gonzaga was 29-0, ranked #1 in the country, going for an undefeated regular season. They even had T-shirts ready to go. BYU came in there on senior night and beat them. Mark Few says this BYU team is going to be desperate. They're playing for a ticket to the big dance. Gonzaga has to match that intensity tonight.
Doesn't seem like it'll be a problem for Gonzaga matching that intensity. Although if you were kind of the proverbial man from the moon and didn't know that St. Mary's was the ranked team, didn't know that BYU was the 3rd seed, and you watched the game between those two last night, you would have thought that BYU was the better team. They certainly played like it, basically wire to wire, as Silas Melson comes up short for 3.
Hachimura's on the floor now. That presents some problems on the inside.
Hartnett leans in, hit the underside of the rim. Here comes Perkins.
Tough shot. Transition D, very important when you play the Zags. They like to get the ball up the court quickly.
Here's Rui Hachimura. who is an X-factor player off the bench for Gonzaga. He has been tremendous. Feeds Perkins. Bodies crash to the deck. Knocking it out of bounds was Jonathan Williams.
Talk about balance. What a balanced team they are when you look at Gonzaga. 5 guys in double figures. You bring a guy off the bench, averaging 11.7. I made a turnover last night. I said the leading scorer. I meant the leading scorer coming off the bench. When you look at Hachimura, what a play to bring off the bench. Physical, very explosive. Demonstrated that last night with that incredible dunk. Quality shots are important. You got a little patience. You got to take good shots.
And that was a good one. High percentage for Elijah Bryant on the drive.
Elijah Bryant, very versatile, big-time scorer. He and Childs, all conference players. They got to step up here in a big stage right now. The only way they can get the dance, man, they got to win this. They got to win this, BYU.
Hachimura around Childs. Childs pins him underneath. Hachimura resets. Shot clock to 10. Perkins, shot clock winding down. Gives it up to Norvell, beats the timer, and connects for 3.
Wow, she's feeling it from out of the Windy City. Comes from a school that produced Derrick Rose, that produced people like Ben Wilson, the late Ben Wilson, Jabari Parker. And we talk about Norvell maybe with those guys eventually after his career.
Cannon on the drive, laying it in. Beautiful drive from McKay Cannon.
They're doing a tremendous job attacking the rim. That's the second possession in a row. They've attacked off the bounce and really went right at Gonzaga.
Williams across the lane. Elijah Bryant. A little too strong. Easy rebound for Hachimura.
I love his potential. Oh, wow. Come out of Japan.
Sets up Nelson in the corner. Williams into Worthington. Worthington knocked it out. BYU fans thought it should have been a foul.
Well, not shooting the ball like they shot the ball, obviously, yesterday against San Fran. Look at Norvell's got that clock in his head. He knows how much time is left, like that quarterback does, and running an offense, getting that play off. It's not full of football, too.
You're a Renaissance man. Perkins.
Struggling shooting the 3 right now. They got to go inside a little more. Take advantage of their strength around the basket.
You'll leave Childs against Hachimura, one-on-one. The jump hook in and out. They basically have the same body type. It's going to be fun to watch Childs and Hachimura go head-to-head. They are both listed at 6'8", 225. I mean, down to the pound. They're basically that same athletic 4-man that can stretch the floor.
Hachimura's got a little more to bounce off the floor.
Here he is, over Childs. Yes.
Nice little jumper, medium-range jumper. You talk about a guy whose stock is going up, and up. I hope that he doesn't run to the next league. Another year at Gonzaga, I think will do him wonders.
Pause, throws it right to Hachimura. Here he goes.
Give it up.
Cross it over, and finishing with the left hand.
He said, why give it over? Why give it over? I'm not going to give that ball off. I'm going to go right to the goal. Changes right to left hand, lays it on the glass. This kid averaged 2 points a game last year on that great Gonzaga team that went right to the wire with the Tar Heels.
Pause to Cannon. Short.
Right up in Tilly's face. They're not going to give Tilly a lot of looks. They're going to make him go right up, put the ball on the floor. Now he wants the ball in the post area.
Tilly looking for a cutter in Norvell. Knocked out of bounds off Norvell. Approaching the midway point of the first half of the WCC championship game. Rui Hachimura, an impact off the bench. We'll check in with Joe Lenardi, hiding in the bunker when we come back. Midway through the first half, Bob Wischusen, Dick Vitale, Gene Wojciechowski. And before we get to Joe Lenardi, we've got a blind resume here. Interesting to take a look at these teams and see which one you think could make the best case to be in the NCAA tournament. These, I guess, would all be considered bubble teams. What do you think?
Well, I think looking at them right now, oh, wow, that's Syracuse, Texas, St. Mary's.
Wow, St. Mary's.
Yeah, I want to ask Joe this. Joe, St. Mary's, 28-5. They get upset here, get beat by BYU. Yes, they're a good BYU team. A lot of people are saying they're not going to make it because of their RPI, because of all the other factors. Didn't play a tough pre-conference schedule. What do you think, Joe? Are they in or out?
This is Joe Lenardi, and he is in the Infinity Bracket bunker. And Joe, is BYU a bubble team in your mind? Could they be a bid stealer? Even if they hung in there with Gonzaga tonight and put up a good fight, should there be bubble teams worried about BYU?
I'll tell you this, Joe. If BYU wins this game, does that help or hurt St. Mary's? You know, I agree with you. 28-5 versus some mediocrity in conferences. Give the little guy a shot. And I really think he had so much. But what about the Fighting Irish? Struggled today with Pittsburgh. Do they have to beat Virginia Tech?
And Joe, one final one from me about the Big 12. It seems like the back end of the Big 12, they're almost all on the bubble outside of maybe Iowa State. So when you look at the Big 12, which teams have to get something done when their tournament starts tomorrow in Kansas City? Who needs wins the worst? Joe, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Obviously, all week long, we'll be checking in with you in the Infinity Bracket bunker. So have someone bring you some supplies. Thanks, Joe. And news made while Joe Lenardi was breaking down all of those bubble teams in the Big 12. The bubble finally burst for Killian Tilly. He actually missed a three.
Yeah, he missed the three, and I'll tell you this, maybe he was in two. Does a great job getting a triple threat position when he catches the ball. They're going to reverse it back to him. He's going to reverse it back. And there he is, squares up. That baby was in. That was right there. What a great run that is, though, to make, what, 11 in a row, was it?
He's 11 for 12 now, shooting threes in the tournament. BYU has missed on their last five, scoreless for almost 5 minutes. Still, though, within 6. Bryant cruises to the goal, and he breaks that streak.
They're doing a great job attacking the rim. They're getting in there for layups against the Gonzaga defense. Gonzaga's been getting some good offensive execution the last few possessions, moving without the ball. Good spacing, but he walked right there. They got to get Childs some touches now. When you look at BYU, they got to go to him a little bit more inside.
So Todd Leslie's Northwestern record safe as Killian Tilly ends his made three-point streak at 12 in a row. Still pretty good. That's a great story. And College of Charleston all the way down to the wire. I'm not sure they ever had the lead in regulation, and they found a way to win and secure an automatic bid. Bob Wischusen here with Dick Vitale, Gene Wojciechowski as well. And Mark Few, Gene, took his team back to their high school roots off campus to practice.
Well, Mark Few is very private when it comes to his practices. They're closed to the media, but they're not closed to the 8th period PE class of Liberty High School. I was there this morning, and in exchange for using their basketball court, he let the PE class, all 55 of them, come in and watch the practice. Mark Few, that shouldn't surprise you. He was a high school coach and teacher for a while, and at the end of practice, those students saw Gonzaga make four half-court shots, including one by Mark Few.
Wow. I'll tell you one thing, Gino. He's made a lot of fans now for the Zags. That's great marketing. That's smart. This guy's got it all together. I'll tell you one thing. I talked to him a little bit about that Mountain West Gino talked about yesterday. And one of his real concerns is the money is divided equally in this conference among all the teams. Not all the teams invest in their programs like they do in terms of charter flights, new facilities. He said BYU does, but they all get equal dollars. He said they should be able to invest more if they're going to get equal dollars.
Gene, from what you've heard, is there a sense and a real worry among some of the members of the WCC that the two teams on the floor might be looking elsewhere, like the Mountain West, as that three's off the mark for Bryant?
Of course there is, and I talked with the athletic director at Gonzaga. I talked to Mark Few about it, and I even talked to a Mountain West Conference official about it, and they're all being very coy and polite about it, but there definitely are discussions taking place, and as Mark Few told me yesterday, they're going to do what's best for Gonzaga. And the athletic director, Mike Roth, said, you know, I'm taking this very seriously. I'm doing my due diligence, and we're going to do what's best for our brand.
Tell you one thing, Gino, it all comes down to one simple philosophy. Uncle George Washington and piles of it. It always gets down to dollars.
Nelson allows the flyby. Under 7 minutes to go now in what has been a very good first half. As Williams muscles his way across the lane, and the rebound to Luke Worthington.
Well, Williams utilizing the right hand right there. Bryant made a big three here to get down. One nice pass. What a great
Childs, who's met by Tilly. That's a good foul by Tilly, as Childs was about to throw it down. As we take a look at the New York Life ACC tournament bracket moving through Boston College, Syracuse, and Notre Dame. That sets up the quadruple header tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2. We'll start it off at noon with Florida State Louisville.
That's a big time game. There's no question about it. It's a game I think Louisville has to win. I really do. They're in a little slide right now. You want to knock the committee out. Talked to Mike Bray basically yesterday. We were actually text messaging each other. They're going to put a knockout punch like Joe said. They got to beat Virginia Tech. They cannot afford to lose that game. Syracuse, I think Syracuse is working their way in big time. I think winning today is certainly a big help. They're going to be extremely competitive with North Carolina. Can't afford to lose by big numbers. If they do, I think they're going to get it.
Killian Tilly has another streak started. He's won for his last one.
And Mr. Tilly starting again. Wow. I mean, when he shoots it, you feel it's going in. That's reminiscent to the days when I covered games with Chris Mullen, Steve Alford. When they shot the ball, you felt there was a chance it was going in.
That's elite company to be put Killian Tilly with. That's pretty good as Childs gets the roll. Bryant and Childs have now combined for 19 of the 23 for BYU.
Well, we said they have to have big games for them to have a chance to win, and they're responding here on the big stage. They don't want any committee to decide whether to get in or not, BYU. They want to finish it off here. The one thing you got to remember this for Gonzaga, they get everybody's best shot. Everybody plays on another level against them.
Hachimura missed the layup off the feet from Tilly.
This baby's going, I think, to the wire. I really do. I think they're not going to back down. This horse can handle the ball. Has good basketball instincts. His dad was a heck of a player.
How about the spin move? Comes up short with the left hand.
Yeah, didn't put enough spin on the basketball. His brother was a heck of a player.
Sweeping hook from Killian Tilly.
I'll tell you what. Do you think Mr. Tilly's heading for an MVP award if they win this tournament? I mean, you vote for anyone else if they win it, you're going to have an investigation. This kid horse has got good basketball instincts.
Three on the way. That comes up short for Elijah Bryant.
I think Bryant's got to go to attacking the rim more rather than looking for the three. He's got that ability.
Perkins, quick first step, short.
Perkins struggling shooting the ball here tonight. Well, last night everything shot. It looked like the Atlantic Ocean. Almost said Pacific Ocean. You were on the West Coast.
Kind of.
Said that yesterday, too. Oh, nice.
Floater just off the mark for Yoli Childs. He'll shoot free throws.
Childs got to get more touches. How effective and efficient he's been in the tournament. Look at Tilly's last shot. I think this MVP award is going to come down to Childs and come down to Tilly. Whoever team wins, I always believe to the victor goes the spoils. That's why my National Player of the Year voting is Mr. Brunson. But I would also think about DeAndre Ayton. Trae Young was a lock about a month ago. I mean, he was a lock, everybody. It was no contest. But you got to win, baby. You got to win.
He still leads America in scoring and assists, and no player has ever led the country for the season in scoring and assists. And he's likely not to win those top awards because his team hasn't won games.
He's an All-American, no question. He's had a great year for a young guy facing a lot of double teams, pressure. I like the way they play the defense. Oh, what?
Tilly will drive it and finish.
I'm telling you, I can't believe how good this guy looks here in this tournament. I remember last year watching Collins, and he just impressed the heck out of me. And he kept getting better and better as the tournament went on, and now in the NBA. See, Bryant's going to drive the basketball more. He's capable of doing it. They're going to set some screens, some ball screen for him right here.
Instead, he rolls one to Childs, who hangs. Can't get it to go. Another rebound for Jonathan Williams.
That was a
and
tough
he'll dribble
shot.
it up himself and get fouled. A cheap one near midcourt on Childs.
Silly play. Silly foul. Silly foul.
Childs first. You've only got 5. Don't want to spend one that way. Could Killian Tilly keep shooting his way into our Wendy's Wooden Watch? We've got some big-time players to talk about next.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Papa John's. 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas, just $5.99 each.
TV said, haven't lost the game. I got a better record than Coach K. I don't want to hear about his super record, almost 1,100 wins. You want to check mine? I haven't lost the game in 39 years.
Yeah, but you're sitting next to
Undefeated.
me. He's got better players. Let's take a look at tonight's Wendy's Wooden Watch. Talk about great players. These are just 5 of the names that are up for the Wooden Award. You mentioned DeAndre Ayton, Jalen Brunson, certainly on that list. Maybe a sneaky candidate in Devontae Graham from Kansas. Came on tremendously during conference play and beat out Trae Young for Big 12 Player of the Year.
Yeah, he really did. Well, again, he was rewarded because to the victor goes the spoils. I mean, he led a team to winning that championship in that league again. I have no problem with that. I said when I did the game, I would vote for him.
Traveling calls on Jonathan Williams.
You know, you mentioned Villanova. They're the only team that really put the hurt on Gonzaga. Was over in New York City, and he made no excuses before the game when we asked him about that. And he said, hey, had nothing to do with travel. You asked him about travel.
That's still I mean, he can't take that as an excuse, and I understand that. That is still a classic Gonzaga game as the 3 goes down for Yoli Childs. Gonzaga has to play games like that.
Absolutely.
To remain nationally relevant. That's not easy to go from Spokane to Madison Square Garden to play a day game against a Villanova team that just takes a bus up the turnpike about a 2-hour ride.
I think St. Mary's got to do a little more of that. They got to do a better job of scheduling their pre-conference schedule.
Perkins down the lane with the left hand. Gets it to go.
Nice drive by Perkins down that lane. Did a great job getting in that lane. Tell you what about Childs shooting the 3. I was in proper conversation with Mark Few before the game. He said, if he's making 3s, we could have a tough night. He's being checked by Tilly. Releases right now until he switched wide open. He's got to make the
little for Childs.
A little 10-foot jump shot right there to medium range.
Norvell. Tilly an offensive rebound.
You know, Tilly's more than just a shooter. This guy's got some talent in other areas as well.
Sets up Nelson. Yes.
That was created by Tilly. Tilly with the bounce to the floor. Threw the defense to him. Found the open guy. The one thing I love about Gonzaga, and I think you look at any great team, they share the basketball. They look for one another. They're unselfish. That's That's why they shoot 50%. They're 6th in the nation in field goal percentage. Number 1 is St. Mary's.
Nelson ends up with the loose ball, and the pass intended for Worthington. Williams, shot fake.
That's his strength right down low with that left hand. Nice little spurt.
Timeout BYU. Our Wednesday night NBA doubleheader starts in Motown. The Pistons hosting DeMar DeRozan and the Eastern Conference leading Raptors at 8 Eastern. Then LeBron and the Cavs head to the Mile High City to take on the Nuggets. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Speaking of the NBA, is he here as an alum? Is he here as a scout looking for his Celtics? What's Danny Ainge?
He's here looking for players. He's here looking for players. He's Digger Phelps' favorite player. And the NCAA tournament, that incredible play by Danny Ainge, coast to coast. Digger said, well, you got to mention that.
Final minute of the first half and the shot clock winding down. Elijah Bryant launches from the corner, barely draws iron. Chance for a 2-for-1 for Gonzaga if they get a shot up.
Well, Dave Rose told us before the game, the key for us is to try to avoid spurts by Gonzaga. And right now, Gonzaga went on a little spurt to get this little cushion.
Right here with a step back.
Spurt City, man, you got to stop that spurt. A 9-0 run. They're capable of doing that. Look at Zag Mania. Zag Mania. Oh, screaming, yelling. They love their Zags. You think they're big in Spokane?
Childs. Yes, quiets the crowd for the moment. 8 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes Josh Perkins. Chance for a final shot as Perkins will drive it. Flips it up and scores. At the buzzer.
The Eurostat. The Eurostat. Wow, this is like a home game for Gonzaga. I think we're at the kennel. It's unbelievable, Bob Wischusen. The enthusiasm, the energy. Look at the passion of these fans. Wow, Mark Few has given them so much to cheer about over the years.
38-29, our score at the half. Josh Perkins with a buzzer beater to end the opening 20 minutes. Time for the Audi halftime report. Hopefully things quiet down here at Spokane South. Kevin Connors, back to you. Champ Week presented by Principal. Just about set for the start of the second half here in Las Vegas of the men's West Coast Conference Championship game. Gonzaga trying to pull off the doubleheader earlier today. The women from Gonzaga were able to win the West Coast Conference title. Zakira Rice, tremendous in the front court. Jill Barta, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, played like it. Her 4th 30-point game of the season. And John Stockton's daughter, Laura Stockton, 7 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. They hoist the hardware. They're bringing that back to Spokane. Will the men join them? Bob Wischusen, Dick Vitale, Gene Wojciechowski here. So far, it has been much more balance on the Gonzaga side than it has been on the BYU side. The supporting cast for the Zags helping their stars.
Well, there's no doubt about it. They got 7 guys that have scored. You look at Childs, he's got 18 of the 29 points. Bryant and company got to step up and help him, and they got to try to get rid of his. Bryant going to the goal. He's got to do a little bit more of that. But it's been all Childs. Childs has really kept them in the game. He's making threes, driving the ball inside, and then there's the balance. The balance of Gonzaga. Well, I'll tell you, Tilly scored in a variety of ways. I'll tell you, Jonathan Williams there, Norville's also had a good half to start with. They got some good, solid players. This is an excellent team. I talked to one of the writers that covers them, and he said they're way better than what he even anticipated them to be, and I agree with that. Gino, you want to take it, Gino? Go ahead.
Well, you know what? Both teams have the same message, just different parts of it. One thing that Mark Few wanted to do is push the ball in transition. Well, guess what Dave Rose wanted to stop? He wants to stop that transition. Few says that BYU's being really physical with them, but so far he's pretty generally pleased with the way they're playing. Too many turnovers right now, though.
Each team only with 2 fast break points in the first half, but it's the fact that no one has helped out At the offensive end, Bryant and Childs, as only 2 other players for BYU have even scored. Hartnett scored the game's first points, the opening bucket of the game. And McKay Cannon also had a driving layup. Other than that, BYU has 25 of their 29 points from their 2 stars.
Tell you one thing, we always talk about the first 4 minutes, really important at halftime. And it's really essential here for BYU not to allow the Zags to go on a spurt right here. They'll put the game away. 2-man game right there. Bryant going to the goal.
That was snatched away by Jonathan Williams.
He and Childs played a little 2-man basketball. One thing I don't like that they do, they pick 10 guys in the conference for the All-Star, for the All-League team. I like 5 players. There's good defensive play right there, right on that basketball. You know, you can find guys that play basketball. You pick the top 5.
Come on, these days everybody gets a trophy. We're about love. We're about the more the merrier. Why not put 15 guys on the first team, all-league team?
You know, I like your philosophy, especially if I set the bench.
Exactly. Tilly, jump hook. Yes.
I'll tell you what, he is getting better and better. It doesn't matter if you be 10, 12, 15, he's going to make the team.
Killian Tilly was second team All West Coast Conference during the season, but he is on his way to being the MVP of this tournament if Gonzaga holds on and wins the title.
You know, it's amazing as you watch him play. What a difference a year makes. Looking at that kid this year versus last year, the confidence, understanding a good shot. He doesn't take bad shots either. You know, Bob, a lot of players, they'll force shots. He's always looking for the better shot. They need to score right here. They're going to stop the slide. What's 11 zip right now to Spurt? 11 zip.
Hawes spins.
Comes
up short. He was looking for a whistle.
I thought he got fouled. No whistle right there. Gonzaga's starting to take this game over. A little more bounce to the step.
Perkins lobs it. Finishing with a finger roll is Williams.
That's just great execution. That's being efficient. Mark Few's clapping. He loves it. Oh, what a winner that guy is. I said it yesterday, I'll say it again as Dave Rose gets a timeout. He's putting together Hall of Fame numbers. No doubt in my mind that eventually he and Jay Wright will be Hall of Famers.
CC title game, you wonder where a guy like Killian Tilly emerges from. Well, look who he was behind last year. Those 4 stars all depart. Williams, Perkins, and Nelson were all big contributors last year. Of course, Mark Few, every season he goes to the NCAA tournament, and they have made 24 trips to the championship game in the WCC tournament as well. So Killian Tilly was roadblocked left and right last season behind all that talent.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, though, he waited his time, and I think Hachimura can do the same. I think if he waits and is patient, he could have an incredible year next year. I think the one thing that's great about Gonzaga, they do everything like the big-time elite schools do in basketball. They fly our charters. They do the right thing, great facilities. I'll tell you, Gene, they are really a big-time program.
Well, and when you look at last year's WCC tournament in Chile, we saw those 6 points. He had exactly 1 field goal last year. Now he has 62 points in these 2+ games. And when I talk to the players and ask them, who's the best shooter on this team? They rank him number 3 behind Norvell and Perkins.
This team can shoot.
I have a problem with that, man. Don't always trust players to make the right evaluations. When they shoot the ball, Gene, versus this kid, that kid, every time he shoots it, you think it's going in.
Norvell to shoot 3. And this game right now in a real danger zone for BYU.
Absolutely.
Down by 14 to a really good team. They need to make a run to make it competitive again, or this can get completely out of hand.
Well, Dave told us, he said spurts, and we're seeing a heck of a spurt. I think right here, Norvell has a chance to be a star. I think they're starting him all over this kid's chest. I really do. Comes out of the Windy City, Chicago. What a great high school he played at, Simeon. Well, we had ourselves a real intense game with about 2 minutes left in the half, and then it's all been Gonzaga.
Childs can't get it to go. The lob, and Williams gathers along the baseline, keeps the possession alive.
He wants to spin across that lane. He wants to spin across that lane. Oh, they did a great job helping.
Down to the decks, gets the steal.
They did a great job anticipating where he was going to go. He wanted to spin with that left hand across the lane.
Pause for three. In and out. Norvell keeps his balance and comes away with the loose ball.
Tell you one thing, talking about transfer university, it's been transfer U when you think about Gonzaga. I mean, they've had so many guys who transferred there. Think about the picture of Matthews. You think about Williams, a transfer. Nigel Williams, Gospel's a transfer.
Great pass by Norvell. Williams blocked underneath by Childs. Held ball. The arrow will keep it with Gonzaga, but we have an official disagreement.
Yeah.
That's Randy McCall who overruled Vern Harris. Vern Harris on the baseline said that's a held ball. And running from across the court, Randy McCall came in and said, no, there was a foul on that play on Childs.
He said he had the foul call prior to the held ball. Think about transfers. Kyle Wiltshire came from Kentucky.
I think he actually called the foul after the held ball.
Yeah. You are right, Robert. You're always right. It's been fun working with you all year. It's our last half together this year.
You're going to miss me.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll miss you, no question. Hey, Jonathan Williams stroking it. Another transfer, Marco Polo. It's all Gonzaga right now. Defensively, they're executing offensively. This is a legitimate contender for the Final Four, this Gonzaga team. I don't care what happens the rest of this game. That team could beat anyone on a given night.
Giles short with the hook.
And they get better and better as the season progressed. David Rose pointed that out to us.
Foul on Hawes, and Hawes is still scoreless. 47-29. Gonzaga in the WCC title game, in control. Back in Las Vegas, where Gonzaga is in control in the West Coast Conference Championship game. And let's see how Trae Young is putting in elite effort to win college basketball's highest individual honor. It's our Wendy's Wooden Watch.
My name is Trae Young, and I'm a Wooden Award candidate because of the early mornings and late nights I spend here in this gym, watching film, and dedicating my whole life to this game of basketball.
Well, Trae Young, so far this season, has put up numbers that we've not seen before, but they've dropped as the year has gone on. Points per game and assists per game still first in America, but outside of one game at home against Kansas State for the better part of a month, he's forced it at times and hasn't shot it the way he did, certainly in the non-conference. He also has a level of vision and passing that sometimes, if his teammates aren't knocking shots down, it leads you to believe he's not having some of the great games that he is.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. When he goes to the next level, plays with quality players around him, you're going to see his game really blossom. I really believe that.
Speaking of blossoming, Killian Tilly does it again.
What a nice post move right there. So the ball fake, the drop step. I mean, just what a performance we're watching right now. I don't think people realize how impressive it is watching the execution by Gonzaga. They're not playing with a lot of aggressiveness right now, BYU. It's almost like taking a step back, retreating rather than attacking. I thought they had a big bounce to their step and were attacking early in this game.
Bryant, tough shot, and he's got it.
Finally broke that spurt. Unbelievable. They were locked there at 29 for quite a while. See, the one thing that you look at my Gonzaga, they got players that come off the bench, etc., from last year, but they have that winner's mentality. When you've got people that understand how to win.
Tilly for three.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Every time he shoots the ball, I think it's a layup. It's incredible. The way the ball comes off his hand, Bob. You know, he doesn't take a lot of threes either. You pointed out yesterday, he only took about 81 all year coming in here and shot 48%.
From a volume shooting standpoint, Norvell and Silas Melson took a lot more threes than Killian Tilly did this year.
There's Tilly with the rebound. He's got to get stronger.
As did Perkins.
Yep, you're right. He's got to get a little stronger physically. Oh, nice little screen. He rolled and did find. Got him a little one-on-one right now, a little isolation.
Sets Melson up. Another triple for the Zags.
Can't be denied when they're playing like this. They're all sharing the ball, all stepping in. And look at these Zag fans. They love it. They have really put the knockout punch big time on BYU right here.
Perkins with a steal like lightning from coast to coast. Another timeout for Dave Rose.
Now. It's a mismatch now. They know it. They feel it. They sense it. Let's take a look at Mr. Tilly working inside the play. Look at this drop step. Great footwork, man. What an unbelievable nice move, ball fake. And then watch this right here. The young kids, look at the follow through. Look at them wave goodbye. Oh, yes, sir. Great rotation. Squares the body. Looks at the bench. And they say, we love you, Mr. Tilly. We love you. I didn't know they make shooters like that in France.
He is 13 of 14 from three-point land in this tournament.
I'll tell you one thing.
13 of 14.
Put him on the court right now against guys like Reggie Miller and my guy Chris
with a rack of basketballs.
I'm going to tell you right now, let's rack him up and let's have a little shooting contest. Larry Bird, and this kid can shoot. I'm telling you, there's a lot of NBA players. You can stand up at the three and say, nobody's going to guard you. Make 13 out of 14. Not going to happen.
They talk about the NBA potential of some of these players for Gonzaga. Tilly's only a sophomore, but he's 6'10", a legit 6'10", and he can shoot like this. I mean, that has to be another player that NBA scouts are going to start to have pop up on their radar.
Yep. I'll tell you one thing. He's going to fill out that body. He's going to be one special guy. I don't think there's any way he's thinking about the NBA.
And speaking of one special guy.
Oh, who's that guy? The guy, what is he, wacky? Who's that wacky? Come on. That one been dance with him. Oh, yeah.
Well, who wouldn't want to see these moves?
Dingo Dick, baby. Come on, bring J-Lo down here. I want to dance with J-Lo.
There it is.
I want to get in her groove.
We had an over-under in the truck on when J-Lo was going to come up. I lost. I had first half.
She owns the city, man.
I don't know. With moves like that, might be a close call.
With moves like that, I'm done.
Yeah,
Finished.
I don't know.
Done.
Disco Dick lands in Sin City. It's a whole different story.
My wife is laughing at me like crazy sitting behind me. I can't believe that's my husband.
She's been saying that for a long time.
46 years.
Another rebound for Williams that puts him in double-double land as he's got 8 points to go along with 11 rebounds.
They got such balance. That's what makes them special.
He just can't stop them.
Oh, they're
Josh
shooting.
Perkins.
Oh, they're just playing brilliant basketball. I mean, this is a clinic they're putting on last night and today. They are putting a clinic on. What a way to get ready to go to the NCAA tournament, huh? He's going to give him a break, call it a block.
Foul called on Norvell.
See, I think they're better than the 4 line. I really do. I think this team is at least a 3 seed. I really believe that.
The way they're playing right now, how could you argue? And for Mark Few, year after year to get his team to peak at this time of the season. Last year, they were within an eyelash of winning the whole thing. Foul called. It looks like that one will go on Peyton Dastra.
22-2 run. Think about this. Everybody was saying, well, he never went to the Final Four when he's added that to his resume. Now he's going to add that national championship trophy to the resume. You know, he's just like when you think about Coach Marshall down at Wichita State. They found happy. They're happy where they're at, and they don't need so-called big-time schools and big-time conferences. They're the king, man. They're the king.
Norvell, a little too strong. Tilly, the back tap. Norvell tries again. Wow.
Somebody call the fire chief, man. They're burning down the nets. Somebody call someone, because this is an absolute mismatch. Big time right now. Feel bad. Kids at BYU came here with an unbelievable desire. They worked hard. They played brilliantly last time, but they are meeting a team that's just superior today, the way they're executing.
Pulling back from the elbow, little off the mark for Bryant. And Dastra has his shot thrown back to midcourt. Tilly again.
And we haven't seen a lot of Hachimura either tonight.
Childs.
Tough shot. He was challenged on that shot. That was a real tough shot. It was more or less, to me, a frustration. A moment of frustration. He's a good player, and so is Bryant. And so is Hollis.
Norvell. The long rebound to Hawes. Hawes with a nice crossover, and the floater goes down.
Yeah, nice change of direction right there. You mentioned earlier about peaking. We talked about it. What a way to get ready for the NCAA tournament. Just really getting it all together. Going to go in there with that little swag, that confidence.
You start to look at Gonzaga in comparison with some of the other best teams in the country. As Tilly again gets the roll. If you put them on the same floor, again with a Villanova, or a Michigan State, or a red-hot Michigan team right now, or Purdue or Duke or Carolina, any of those top teams, how do you think they match up?
From what I'm seeing right now, they got a shot against all those teams. They got balance, they got depth, they got size, they got good guard play, they defend, they got a winner's mentality. I'm not saying they'll beat all those teams, but they got a chance, a legitimate chance. They got coaching.
Steal by Jonathan Williams.
And they got that winner's mentality. There's something to be said about that. Kids that know how to win. You want to recruit kids to understand what winning's about. That's a tough area to teach. You look at sports, tennis, Roger Federer, great, unbelievable winner's mentality. Serena Williams, the same thing in tennis. Go to baseball for years when you look about Derek Jeter. Talk about LeBron James. For years, Kobe Bryant. I mean, those guys just all about winning. It's all about today. Not what I did yesterday. Not about, I won this title 3 years ago. It's about today. Michael Jordan was a perfect example of that.
Well, today, Gonzaga has been unstoppable. Shooting 50% from the field, just about 50% from three. They are 10 for 21 from behind the arc. 19 for Tilly, 17 for Norvell. 65-33, Gonzaga well on their way to a WCC title. Look at the score in the second half, too. Outscoring BYU 27-4. This will be just one of the things that Steve Levy and Kenny Mayne are talking about on SportsCenter after we're done here in Vegas. They'll break down Houston, Oklahoma City. Rockets looking to extend the streak to 16. Plus a look at how the 76ers are just 2 games away from the 3 seed in the East. And, of course, Joe Lunardi, Joey Brackets, is in the bunker. Tonight's automatic bids and predictions, all that and more. SportsCenter, 11 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app.
I know you're going down to the Big 12, and I'm headed to the SEC. And I know we can't wait to go there. I think 2 of the teams playing the best right now. As you look at these tickets already punched for these programs. So happy to see Loyola and Chicago there. They got a good team. They went over to Florida, beat the Gators in Florida. Michigan to me. Michigan and Gonzaga are playing the best of anybody of the elite teams right now on a consistent basis. I mean, they're taking no prisoners here. They're really just playing with intensity, emotion. Tough shot.
Chance for a three-point play for Peyton Dastrup.
Gets the offensive rebound, gets the score in the interior. It was a tough challenge shot.
Jonathan Williams called for the foul.
What a program he's built. He's been like a Frank Lloyd Wright, an architect. Took over from Don Munson, somebody did a great job. had them in 90, I believe it was 97, Connecticut, if my memory's right. Connecticut beat them in the Elite Eight. In 99 it was. Connecticut then went on to the national title.
He's got one advantage that some of the schools that we kind of consider in his same hemisphere may not. And he keeps on putting up amazing numbers, you could say. And that's what a great list to be on top of. But Gonzaga's program, and this is to Mark Hughes' credit, has gotten to the point where they are so well respected that if you take a game with them and you win it, that game is treated by the selection committee at the end of the season like one of the wins in your power conference.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the complaint we always hear from the quote-unquote mid-majors. No one wants to play us because they don't get the benefit of it. It costs them a lot more to lose to us than it might benefit them to beat us, so why take the game? And sometimes it's tough to schedule power competition when you're in the Gonzaga world. But he has built this kingdom where now teams have no problem playing Gonzaga because they know they're going to get the proper credit for the win if they win the game.
Absolutely. Well said, Robert. And I was there when I coached the University of Detroit. When you start winning, nobody wants to play it.
Exactly.
They don't want to play it. But now, right now, when they've got their program at the elite level, it's really, you want to play that.
Norvell, yes. Oh, and no. Looked like that one was on its way down off the window. Haas, easy to the goal.
Easy to the goal. Mark Few not happy with the defensive effort right there. They played the scoreboard right there. There was nobody gave any help. Nobody closed off the driving angle. You don't want to get in bad habits when you get a big lead like this, too. You got to be cautious of that.
Norvell, quick first step. Broken up, though. Good hands by Yuli Childs. Haas pulls up. That won't go. Offensive rebound, Childs.
Childs needed some help, man. The first half at 18 and 29. He's going to time out. He doesn't like the effort he's seeing right now. See, there's a tendency, look, he's going to get in the guys' faces. Very upset. Yeah, he's upset. He doesn't like what he's watching out there right now, and I don't blame him. You don't want bad habits. Look at this. You think he's down. You think he's down about 25. Somebody want to wake him up and tell him he's up 22. You're up 22, Mark. You're up 22. That's why he's a great coach. Get the TO.
Well, it does not look like it's going to be much of a difficulty for Gonzaga to keep their NCAA tournament streak alive, as not only are they a top 10 team, up to 6 in the latest AP poll, but they are appearing in the WCC championship game for the 21st consecutive year. And there's the Stockton family.
Beautiful wife, John in the middle, his daughter Laura. Boy, she has some passion and pride. She plays, talk about a competitor. I saw the left-handed reverse layup she made. Really looked great on her try.
Yeah, she had a chance to hoist the women's championship trophy earlier today, as it looks like it's going to be a twofer for the Zags here in Las Vegas. Perkins on the drive with the left hand.
Wow, right down the D. They got so many weapons, so many people that know how to win. They came so close to a national title last year. Hicks made a big play for North Carolina late in that game.
Off balance, well done by Elijah Bryant.
See, I think Bryant's got to do more driving in basketball. I think he stopped driving. He's doing it well early in the game. They've won 18 in a row now. Last time they lost was to St. Mary's back in January.
Long rebound to Hawes. You know we haven't touched on? The BDI. Where does Gonzaga fit on the Ball Dome Index for Dick Vitale?
My Vitale Ball Dome Index has them up a notch or two. I like them better than the RPI does.
A couple of extra hairs?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, they just have been so impressive, Bob, in every way. I mean, their offense, their defense, their front court play, their guard play. I know the argument the critic will be, well, wait a minute now. This is against BYU. He's not against Duke or North Carolina. He's not against Virginia. These guys can play with anyone.
And as long as Tilly keeps on shooting it like this. To be devil's advocate for just a second, they don't have the size that they had last year. So let's say they come up against a Duke with the two big freshmen, or they come up against the size in the front court of maybe a Michigan State. Can a team like that, Isaac Haas at Purdue, can one of those teams with big bodies exploit a size advantage against Gonzaga that they would have a tough time overcoming?
Nice play right there on the inside by Williams. You're right about that. Those teams can create problems for anyone, but they can create problems as well with the ability to shoot the ball, will they handle the ball. I'm telling you, they can play with anybody. I'm not saying they're going to beat anyone. They can play with anyone.
Well, Tilly at 6'10", he's going to draw a big body away from the basket at times and then just shoot over him.
Well, there's no question. He spreads the court for you because he has that ability to see it, shoot that ball so well. See, he doesn't force shots. A lot of those guys are great shooters. They want to force shots. He takes quality shots.
5 on the shot clock.
He's going to step out off that screen.
Perkins going to have to force one up. Step back 3. That barely grazes the rim. And here comes Haas.
That's not a possession mark like this all.
But Haas throws it away.
He's coaching at every possession there. I'm watching his body language. David Rose, I told you earlier, what an inspiration. Battling pancreatic cancer so courageously. He's done a heck of a job at BYU. You look at the numbers over the years. Visits to the NCAA tournament. You got a big crowd there, about 19,000. Not what we anticipated, not what he anticipated. I mean, he played them tough. I told you, he beat Gonzaga 3 consecutive years prior to this year at Gonzaga. Not many teams are doing that.
Tilly turns it over.
They've gotten sloppy in the last 3-4 minutes. I think maybe it's time a little go to the bench. Got less than 4 minutes to go.
Steal by Jonathan Williams, though, gets it back for the Zags.
No, I'd rather get hurt in this situation now as you come down the stretch island.
Williams, by the way, 10 points, 13 rebounds, a double-double in 9 of his last 11 games.
That's a double-double machine. Got to give it A+ performance. I believe Dr. V right now give out grades. A+ performance. And this guy gets A+. He gets A+. Everything he throws up goes in. Everything he throws up goes in. Oh, wow. I mean, come on now. That shot looked almost impossible. Contact.
He got tired of shooting jumpers. He wants an old-fashioned three-point play.
Here he is. Scoring to the inside. Big. What a performance. He better get the MVP award. He better get it, or I'm asking for an investigation.
The exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance. And Wendy's new Smoky Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger.
The dream continues.
All right, Kenny, thanks very much. They are partying in the Kennel South. As feels like half of Spokane has invaded Las Vegas as they are partying with 3.5 minutes to go, knowing that their Zags are going to win yet another WCC championship.
Tell you one thing, they're gonna look at his hair right now. What a tournament this guy has had. Killian Tilly, remember the name. I think that name is now going to become a talk of many people across the basketball landscape. Coming into this tournament, I don't think many people, other than people down there in Spokane, knew a lot about Mr. Tilly. They know a lot about him now. Tilly is a star, a rising star.
So Tilly at the line, and he should end up being the most valuable player or most outstanding player of this tournament, as Gonzaga is on the verge of their 17th West Coast Conference Tournament Championship. They've won 6 of the last 7, 5 in a row. So these are streaks that are just going to keep rolling on with Mark Few on the bench.
Yeah, Mark Few's got a few trophies down there, huh? Wow. Got a few trophies. Going to get another one today. And you're right. There's no way in the world anybody can get the MVP over Tilly. None. It's got to be unanimous. This is not the kind of performance that BYU anticipated. I believe they firmly in their hearts thought they could win this game.
Tilly, a lid on the basket that time.
I'm going to tell you right now, my little Mark Few, this takes me to several years ago, watching a young guy work the sidelines for Butler University. Watching Brad Stevens, that same kind of personality, that same way of doing things in a positive manner, great respect among his people, and I really think there's a lot of similarity in their ways of handling young players.
And now time for some curtain calls. Josh Perkins to the bench, and Tilley to the bench.
Mr. Tilley, he gets a tap on the rear end from the coach. Great job, Mr. Tilley. Oh, they love him now. I got a feeling he's big man on campus. What a family. We talked about it. Everybody mentions it all the time. Right, and Vince Grippi wrote, he says, they're going to tell you about him. Volleyball. He was right. We definitely brought that up. And, you know, his dad coached the national team in France. Brothers are outstanding volleyball players. Another brother played at the University of Utah basketball. Little athletic family. They must have some fun. Just picnics.
Nixon.
Short of
that would have been goaltending anyway.
Good job by the officials here today. Really good job. I thought they did a good job. Oh, look at this. Mr. Tilley. Just get in the weight room, my friend. Get a little stronger. Get a little stronger physically. We got to find something to be a little critical about.
A curtain call for Silas Melson.
You know, Melson and Perkins, what winners. Those two guys have been all about winning since they've been at Gonzaga.
Jones, in and out.
Kids work so hard. Some of these kids on the floor right now getting some PT playing time.
Astrup hits a three.
He's played some really good minutes since coming on the floor.
Jones gives one up, and Jakob Larsson had it stripped away.
Yeah, Larsson had an opportunity for a deuce. Jones has some good penetration.
Celius tries a three. That's good. Well, Gene, you have had a front row seat for Mark Few going to work throughout this entire tournament right next to that Gonzaga bench.
Well, you know, what did Dave Rose tell us before the game? He was watching film of that December 21st loss to San Diego State by Gonzaga. He said they were confused, looking around, didn't really have an identity. Now look at him. I talked to Few today during that shoot-around. He said his guys are really getting it now. He's just seen it click for them. Things that they didn't used to understand, took him a while. Now he can put it in the day of the game, and they totally get it. And he said that before this blowout.
Hey, Gene, I know you're a basketball aficionado. How do you equate them with the elite teams like Villanova, Michigan State, and all the teams out there, Virginia?
This year, anybody can win it, and Gonzaga certainly has to be in that short list.
I agree with you. They have as good as chances anyone.
The reverse for Jones. Icing on the cake for the Zags. Down to the last half minute.
Nice little reverse layup by Jones. He's got some good ability. He sees mobility. It's never been in doubt, partner, and it's never been in doubt. We enjoy working with you.
It's been a lot of fun.
Mr. Beltman in the truck, our producer, we're having a lot of fun. Now we're going to go to dinner to Joe's Seafood Place and Steakhouse.
Perfect.
We're going to have Caesar's Palace, and then I'm going to get on a Big Bird and red eye back home and go to the SEC, where I'm telling you it's going to be electrifying, and you're going to the Big 12. I think the SEC and Big 12, the two best conferences, top to bottom.
Way to sneak those plugs in for the Dickie V discount before we got off the air. Excellent job. Gonzaga celebrates another championship in the West Coast Conference for the 6th consecutive year, the 17th time overall in what now has become the storied history of this program. Gonzaga, the regular season champions and the tournament champions again.
Ceremony coming up in about 5 minutes, right here at 7:40.
20 consecutive NCAA tournament berths under Mark Few for Gonzaga, and they just played on a different level than BYU did tonight. in Las Vegas, every year it seems like the confetti falls for the Zags.
Yes, sir. Party time once again in Spokane. Look at them, they're celebrating. It never gets too old. The joy and the jubilation of being a winner. Never, ever.
And we anticipate the MVP. Standing by with Gene.
Killian, how do you explain this performance in this tournament? No one saw it coming.
I mean, it's great. It's great. We played together, and we just proved everybody that we're the best team in this conference. So it was great.
What did you prove to people?
I don't know that I can shoot the ball and I can play hard, and we're ready for March Madness.
They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but do you want this feeling and the way this team is playing right now to move forward in the NCAA tournament?
No, we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep improving our game, and we're going to go as far as we can.
All right, thank you for the time. Congratulations.
Killian Tilly was unstoppable throughout the entire tournament. Ends up with 22 points and 3 of 4 from 3 in the championship game. The only misses he had from three-point land happened at the championship game. He was unconscious.
He's got to be the MVP. Solid gold trophy. Absolutely deserves it. Congratulations, certainly, to Mark Few and his kids. But also, wish the best in the future for David Rose.
For Dick Vitale and Gene Wojciechowski, I'm Bob Wischusen. Congratulations to the Zags. Time for SportsCenter.